Hi my lovely stitchers, another video for you, but something a little bit different this time because I'm not behind my embroidery desk, because I wanted to show you what came in the post this week. It's not light. So I've been sent this working lamp by a company called BenQ, and I'm going to try it out for my embroidery. So it's an e-reading light, but they want to know if it's also good for doing crafting and embroidery, so they sent me this to try out. So I'm going to get it out the box, put it together, and then we'll have a look, and I thought you would be interested to see with me if this is going to be suitable for embroidery. So let's get it out the box. Okay, so I'm actually quite excited to get this open. It's like a big Christmas present. Just before I do, I'll just show you the front of the box. So BenQ is the company that makes it. It says this on the side. So this stands, I'm just going to check the side. It tells you on the side what it stands for. Wide, intelligent and tailor-made. That's what that stands for. E-reading lamp, and this is hopefully what's in the box. Now I know it comes in 5 colours I think, and I'm not sure what colour we got, so let's have a look. Okay, so it's got nicely packaged, it's got a little handle on the top. Right, you need to pull it out. Oh, look at that. It says pull. Even embroiderers can open it. Oh, it needs muscle. It is a big beast. Right, so we can remove that. More sticky tape. I'm opening this carefully so you can see what I'm doing, but if it was Christmas I'd just rip it off. Ta-da! So what have we got? Oh, some tools and a quick start guide. So apparently it's easy to put together, so we'll find that out in a minute, but let's just take it out and see what else we've got in here. So this looks like the base. I tell you, it's pretty solidly built, that's for sure. Oh goodness, where's it done? So pretty solid base to stick it on. Oh my goodness. This is the main lamp. We've got a sort of a silver, dark silver colour, nice, and a cable which looks like a proper cable. So there's my actual lamp, lots of bendy bits on it. I like something that's not got too many parts in it, as I said, and a little box, which I presume is a plug. Some sort of, okay, so lots of ends depending on where you are in the world. Need that one, that looks like a UK 3-pin one, US one and a European one by the look of it, and then this slots in there, and that goes in there. Right, pretty simple, we like that. So we've got a lamp, a stand and a plug. So let's get the lamp on the base. Okay, so it's all out of the packaging. I've got it on the table and I'm going to assemble it. I do just have to show you this because I saw before how heavy this is. It does say don't drop it on your foot. I can guarantee that'll hurt if you drop it on your foot. Right, it's only 2 parts, how hard can it be? But it does have a little sheet of instructions with some diagrams, and they even give you the tool to use, so you don't need to go and ferret out a tool. They give you an Allen key to use. So let's put it together. So the arm goes onto the base. It's a pretty good fit, and hair out the way, and you just tighten up the little screw. Like so. That's literally it. So it feels pretty solid, I'll tell you that, which is good because that's quality solid. So it's got lots of bendy bits. This apparently is to remind you to smile. It does. So it feels pretty good. Feels like really good quality actually. It's got a proper cable. It's not a plastic rubbery cable. It's a proper woven cable on it, which I'm quite impressed with that. And it really feels nice and solid. There's very few things to work on it. You don't have to need an instruction manual. This is nice movement on it. It's beautiful. It's quite stiff, but you don't need to undo knobs and stuff, and the top bit moves as well. My smile there. So I'm going to plug it in and turn it on, see what we get. Now I believe that all you have to do is touch it. Oh, is that on? Oh, it is. I've got quite a few lights on, so it's hard to see, but it's on. Oh, that's nice. Off. Dim. Brighter. So, it's all working. It's all set up. It does look like a thing of beauty. So let's see if it works as good as it looks. So I've been trying out my new lamp for a little bit. I've been trying it in the house where I do a lot of my designing and my drawing and my painting, and I've been using it in the house for that. Really liked it for that. Nice spread of light, and I almost got to the point where I didn't actually know it was there, which I think is probably a good thing because it's not affecting me and it's not affecting how I'm using it. So what I thought we really need to do is to try it on some embroidery, because that's the important thing, and I've always been an advocate of good lighting for embroidery. If you're struggling, that's one of the first things you need to sort, so it'd be really good to see if this is good for this. Now this is the normal lighting that I have when I'm filming, so this is our studio lighting, and this is very good lighting, so I'm not expecting this to be as good as this, but if it's as good enough to stitch under, then that would be great. I'd be perfectly happy with that. So this is our normal lighting, so this is what it looks like without them if I turn them off. So because it's gone a bit darker now, so I wouldn't normally be able to stitch under this, so let's try this one. So to turn it on, we just press the ring. You can press anywhere on the ring and it's on. Get a nice spread of light, which is really nice, so no awkward shadows on it. And I'll just show you quickly what the other buttons do. So this one on the top you turn, so if I turn it up and down, so that's down, so you can change the brightness on it. So that's quite low, I wouldn't want it on that level. I am filming this in daylight, by the way, so we have got some natural light, and then that's the brightest it goes. Then if I press down on this button, I can change the temperature of the light, so how warm or cold it looks, or how blue or yellow. So I turn that, that's going very warm now, and the yellow is good for reading, but if you're doing something that involves colour, you really want a nice white light, so I can turn that up that way. And that's a nice white light, so I would have it on that if I was doing embroidery with it. It's got a couple of other features which I'll just show you quickly. So if I press and hold this twice for 2 seconds, I get a little orange light on the top, and the orange light is for reading. So if I wanted to use it for reading lamp, I can do that. It will automatically adjust according to the light levels in the room, and that's a nice softer light for reading. And if I press and hold again for 2 seconds, I get a green light, which is for screens. So if you were using an e-reader or a laptop or something like that, it again automatically adjusts the light settings for that. But I want to have control over it because I want it nice and bright and white. So to get out of that, I can just turn this again and I get manual control back on the light. So that's the setting I'm going to use it on. I'm going to get it in the right place, and I'm going to stitch this little design. This one here, this little lavender spray, I'll put this for free on the website if you like it and you want to have a go yourself. So let's see how well this light works for stitching this design. So I've got my lamp all set up, ready for stitching. Now this part, the smile, should be about eye level, and not higher, so you're not looking up into the bulbs, but because of that camera and that camera, I've got it at a slightly strange angle, but I'm happy with the layout I've got for it. Now it's a little bit darker than we would normally film under, but I'm happy that I can see this and hope you can see it too. It's quite a nice spread of light. So let's do some stitching and see how it looks under the light. So I'm going to start with some Rococo threads, so some goldwork threads. So when you're choosing a light, you want something that's not going to dazzle you. So single bulbs can reflect off things, so especially if you're doing goldwork, that can be an issue. So looking quite nice here. I can see the threads clearly, but I'm not being dazzled by my threads. So let's have a go. So I'm quite happy so far. Not many shadows or anything like that. So I'm not going to go too much into the actual embroidery. All the materials and everything, the stitches you need are on the download, so do get that from the website. That's free for you to download, so there'll be a link in the description below for that. So I'm just going to stitch over these. I think I put the pink one on the top. So just couching them down. Just get the ends out of the way. Deal with the ends later. We're going to plunge those. I'm just using an ordinary sewing cotton to just stitch over the two, following the line. This is a good one to try if you've never done any gold work before. So we're just going to use these threads. Couching is a nice easy way to start. So just up one side, over the top and down the other. Make your line, your stitches so they go straight across. So I'm going to work my way down the L shape, around the corner and up to the end. So I'm at the end now. I'm just going to do 2 more stitches over those 2 threads, one just before the end, like so, and I'm going to cut about 2.5 centimetres to 1 inch, snip those off. We'll deal with those later. I'm going to do all my stitching first. I've finished with this thread, so all I'm going to do is just pull those 2 gold threads back and do 2 little small stitches next to each other, and that just secures the end of the thread. Like so, back to the top, snip that thread off, snip off my starting knot, and that's the gold bit done. Right, let's do some stitching in some stranded cotton. So I've got 2 strands here, and I'm going to start in the middle, I think, so that's my knot just to hold my thread while I get going. 2 tiny little stitches to secure the thread, and then I'm going to start up here, do a stem stitch, so I'm coming downwards, so this loop is going to come to the left, come up in the middle of those 2 points, and stitch my stem stitch down to the bottom. So that's 3 lots of this for each stem of lavender. If you want to see more about each of these stitches, they're all in our stitch library, you can check that out and see these stitches in detail. So straight to the bottom in stem stitch, and I'm going to do that 3 times for the 3 stems. So just at the end of my last stem now, I've just crossed straight over the gold, just stitch straight over the top of it. I'm going to put a big bow around the middle so you won't see any of that part anyway. So last few stitches, that's one, there we go, and then I'll just put that to the side. I'll turn the frame over and finish that thread on the back when I'm done. So let's do some French knots. So quite a good test of a light is your colours. So these are quite similar colours. Got two purples, that one's a bit darker. Quite clearly see those, which is helpful. There's nothing worse than picking up the wrong colour. If you're doing something like silk shading and you've got two colours very close together, you need to be able to see them. So let's do some French knots. We're going to do some darker ones at the bottom. Start here. Using a 4mm ribbon for these. So I'm just going to bunch a few together at the bottom, then I'll bring the other colour in. I have to say while I'm doing this that I can see nice and clearly what I'm doing, not having any issues with this light whatsoever, which is nice. So it found when I was drawing with it that I didn't notice it was there, and this is very similar actually, which is good. So a couple more and bring in the other colour, just make the shapes of the lavender. So I'm going to stitch all those French knots, pull that one through, and I'll see you when I get to the end. So I'm just on my last French knot now. Just mixed up the colours just to give them a little bit of dimension. And a little tip for you, if you just pull your knots a bit tighter, you can make them smaller, so you can have larger at the bottom and smaller at the top as well. So that's my last knot. Then I'm just going to take these ends through to the back. So I'm just going to plunge them. So I've got a thread in my needle there. Just catch the end of that thread. Gold thread in there. Give it a pull. Always do these separately. And I'll put links to videos on all of the stitches in this project in the description below, and there'll be a playlist at the end of this video as well. So if you'd like to have a little go at this project, we've got all of the videos to help you with that. Okay, so there's my ends through to the back. So, and then I will just fold them on the back and sew over them to make sure they don't come undone. And then the final touch, I'm just going to put a little bow across here. With this nice bright pink ribbon. To finish it off, so just tie a normal bow, hold it in the middle, pull the long end so you get shorter bows, and you can just tweak it, fiddle with that. And then I like to just thread the ends in the needle, take those to the back and finish them off. So I'll put one over there. Oops, that's come out. Like so, to finish off my little lavender spray. So I hope you're inspired to have a go at that. Don't forget the downloads free on the website and videos in the link below. So what do I think of the BenQ light? Honestly, I really like it actually, and I set out to do a genuine review of this lamp, to try it for embroidery, which is not intended for, to see if I could stitch under it. And to be honest, I think it's great. I've had no problem with it at all. It's not my usual lighting setup, but I didn't even notice after a while. It was there quite happily stitching away. So yeah, I really liked it. A couple of things about it is it easy to turn it off accidentally. If you're moving the lamp around, the natural place to grab it is here, and it does say in the instructions don't do that, because you've only got to go slightly, just touch it slightly and it goes off. So that can be a little bit annoying. It is also quite warm, I've noticed. Underneath it's not at all, but the top gets quite warm, and when you're quite close to it, I'm thinking, oh, getting a bit hot here. So a little bit warm on the top, but it's not burning me. I could certainly work under it for a while. It is quite heavy as well. It doesn't claim to be a portable lamp, but I have been moving it around because I've been trying it in different places, and I've been using it in the house upstairs, and I've been using it in the studio, so it is quite heavy to move around, but equally it's solidly built. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to fall off the table, that's for sure. And it is good quality throughout, from the cable to the light source. I can't fault it on that front at all. But, it is a high-end product. It is extremely good quality. If you're interested to know the price of it where you are in the world, we'll put all the links to BenQ down in the description below underneath this video. You can check that out there. Personally, I think you get what you pay for, and I would pay for one of these. I thought it was a really good lamp to use. So I hope you found this useful and you're inspired to have a go at my little lavender spray. Everything you need is all below in the description, so do go over there and check that out, and I'll see you in the next video.